There are moments in life that split your world in two, before and after. I remember the exact second mine broke. It wasn't loud, there was no big argument, no door slamming, no dramatic scene. It was quiet, almost peaceful, and that made it hurt even more. My name is Sarah, and for 6 years I gave everything I had to a man named Daniel. 6 years of choosing him every single day. I cooked his meals when he was stressed. I stayed up holding his hand when his mother was sick. I turned down a job in another city because he said, "I need you here, Sarah. You're my home." I believed him. We weren't perfect, no couple is, but we were solid. At least that's what I told myself. That's what I told my sister when she raised an eyebrow at his late nights. That's what I told my best friend, Maya, when she went quiet every time I mentioned his name. I should have listened to that silence. It was a Tuesday evening, the most ordinary kind of day. I came home early from work, my meeting had been canceled, and I was actually happy. I remember thinking, I'll surprise him, maybe order his favorite food. Maybe tonight could be a good night. I opened the front door quietly, smiling to myself, and then I heard it. A voice, soft, familiar, coming from our bedroom. My feet stopped moving. My heart stopped too, just for a second. And in that second, something deep inside me already knew. The way you sometimes know things before your mind is ready to accept them. I pushed open the bedroom door. I won't describe what I saw in detail. I don't need to. You already understand. What I will tell you is this. The woman sitting on my bed, wrapped in my sheets, wearing the expression of someone who had been caught but wasn't truly sorry, was Maya, my best friend, my person, the woman who had cried with me, laughed with me, held me together after my father passed away. Her. Daniel looked at me, and do you know what his first words were? Not, "I'm sorry," not, "Please let me explain." He said, and I will never forget this, "Sarah, calm down, it's not what you think." Standing in that doorway, I made a decision. I didn't cry, I didn't scream, I simply looked at both of them, slowly, carefully, and I said very quietly, "You're right, I'm calm." Then I turned around, walked to the kitchen, poured myself a glass of water, and sat down at the table. Because I wasn't going to fall apart, not yet, not in front of them. That night, I let Daniel talk. He sat across from me at that same kitchen table and talked for almost 2 hours. He told me it had been going on for 7 months. 7 months of lies wrapped inside "I love you" and "You're my home." 7 months of Maya sitting across from me at brunch, hugging me goodbye, texting me goodnight, while carrying this secret like it was nothing. He cried. He actually cried. He said he was confused, that it didn't mean anything, that I was the one he truly loved. And here is the part that frightens me most. For just a moment, I almost believed him, because that is what 6 years does to you. It makes you want to find a reason to stay. It makes you search for an exit from the pain rather than walk straight through it. But then I thought about Maya. I thought about the day she held my hand at my father's funeral, the day she helped me pick out my dress for Daniel's company dinner, the day she told me, "Sarah, you deserve every good thing." And something inside me went cold, not angry, not broken, just cold, clear, certain. I asked Daniel one question that night, just one. Did she know about me from the beginning? He looked down. That was my answer. I asked him to leave. He begged, he pleaded, he said we could fix it, that we could go to therapy, that this didn't have to be the end. He stood at the door for 20 minutes waiting for me to change my mind. I sat at the table and waited for him to leave. The weeks that followed were the hardest of my life. I won't pretend otherwise. There were nights I sat on the bathroom floor and cried until I had nothing left. There were mornings I couldn't get out of bed. There were moments I picked up my phone to call Maya out of pure habit before I remembered. Grief is strange that way. You don't just lose a person, you lose every version of the future you had built in your imagination. But grief, if you let it, eventually transforms. One morning, I don't know exactly when, I woke up And I wasn't crying. I was thinking, clearly, sharply. Daniel and I owned a small business together, a events photography studio we had built from scratch 3 years ago. Our names were on the contract. Our money was in the accounts. Our clients trusted us, the couple, the team, the brand. And I realized something. He needed me far more than I had ever needed him. I did not explode, I did not expose him publicly or send angry messages or make dramatic phone calls. That was never my style. Instead, I called a lawyer. Quietly, carefully, professionally. Within 30 days, I had reviewed every contract, every client agreement, every financial record attached to our studio. And what I discovered was this. Because of how our partnership was legally structured, I had the right to dissolve the business or buy Daniel out entirely. I chose to buy him out. I offered him a fair price, nothing more, nothing less. He had no legal ground to argue. He had assumed, I think, that I was too heartbroken to think straight. He had assumed I would either beg him to come back or fall apart completely. He had underestimated me. The studio was mine within 6 weeks. I rebranded it. New name, new logo, new team. I hired 2 young photographers I had been mentoring for years and gave them their first real opportunity. Within 4 months, we had more bookings than the original studio had seen in a year. Daniel reached out once, a short message. He said he was proud of what I had built and that he was sorry. I read it, I set my phone down, and I felt nothing. Not anger, not satisfaction, not sadness, just peace. The quiet kind that only comes when you have truly moved forward. As for Maya, she never reached out, and honestly, that told me everything I needed to know. Here is what I want you to take from my story. Revenge does not always look like fire. Sometimes it looks like silence, like a lawyer's call, like showing up to your own life with more clarity and more courage than you thought you had. The people who betray you, they expect your pain to define you. They expect your heartbreak to shrink you. They are counting on your love for them to make you weak. Prove them wrong. Not for them, never for them. For you, for the version of yourself standing quietly on the other side of the worst moment, stronger, clearer, and completely, beautifully free. Because the best revenge is not destruction, it's becoming someone they never imagined you could be.